Shalom. I hope you all are doing well. I am blessed and I am back again with a quick video. In this message, I'm going to be discussing the plurality of Elohim's Spirit, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. As this can be difficult to understand, because in Isaiah chapter 45 and 5, Yahuwah makes it plain and crystal clear that there is no other Elohims beside him. To set the tone for this video, we're going to be looking at the definition of Elohim in Wikipedia. And although I know that Wikipedia can be sketchy, we will take a look at this definition since I've already studied it from a Hebrew perspective. So I know that this definition is correct. In Hebrew, words can be singular, plural, masculine, or feminine. So since words in Hebrew can be different from words in English, I highly recommend that you study biblical words in their pure Hebrew form before going to sources like Wikipedia. Let's look at the definition. Elohim is a Hebrew word meaning God or gods. Although the word is plural in form, in the Hebrew Bible it usually refers to a single deity, particularly but not always the God of Israel. At other times it refers to deities in the plural. It's important to know that in order to understand the Bible properly, we must look at it from a Hebrew perspective. When the Bible is translated into other languages, it loses much of its essence. This is why in the Wikipedia definition, you can see where I highlighted God is plural in form in the Hebrew Bible. We're going to be taking a look at some Bible verses, and wherever it refers to the God of Israel, we're going to replace God with Elohim. You're going to find out that the entire Bible supports the fact that Yahuwah is interchangeable with Yahushua, as he is the word of Yah. For those of you who may not know, Yahushua existed before he came to earth in the flesh. Let's read some verses and replace the word God with Elohim. You will notice that as you begin to replace English words back to their original Hebrew form, you will begin to understand the Bible properly. As we read these verses and replace God with Elohim, remember to think of it in its plural form. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and the earth. Yahuchanan chapter 1 and verse 3. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. So in the beginning, Elohim made the heavens and the earth. Then in what they call the New Testament, it is restated that all things were made by the Word who dwelt among us in the flesh. Let's follow up on this and put it all together. Yahuchanan chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. Just in case some of you may be wondering, the Word is the Spirit of Yahuwah. Scores of people own a Bible, yet they have no idea what's in it, nor do they understand that the words on the pages are more than just letters. They are the Spirit and divine inspiration of Yahuwah. Therefore, we can conclude that Yahushua is Yah's Word, who was the Spirit of Yah, who dwelt among us in the flesh. And this is why Yahuchanan chapter 1 and verse 1 says, and the Word was Elohim. Now, just to make sure that we have all of our precepts and facts straight, let's look at Yahuchanan chapter 1 and verse 14. And it reads, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So let me slow this down when I say it, because trying to articulate this can be difficult sometimes. We are being shown that the Word, who was with Elohim and was Elohim in the beginning, in this verse is being confirmed as the manifestation of Yahushua in the flesh, who is the image of the invisible Father who came to the world to save his people. Do you ever wonder why in John 14:9, Yahushua tells Philip, "When you have seen me, you have seen the Father"? Let us read it. Yeshua said unto him, "Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that had seen me had seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, Show us the Father?" This has a dual meaning. Not only is Yahushua the image of the invisible Father, but he is also the Word, or the Spirit of Yahuwah. This is why in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17, Yahushua says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." Why would anyone think that Yahushua came to this world to do away with the law when he said he came to fulfill it? Furthermore, if Yahuwah is bound to his own word, why would he send his spirit in flesh form to change his own laws and then die for the sins of Israel so that sin would be permitted? At least that's what it sounds like Christianity is teaching. It's kind of interesting to me how all these Bible verses are suddenly jumping out at me about Yahushua existing prior to coming in the flesh. It's like all of a sudden at once, I'm getting a strong confirmation that Yahuwah, Yahushua, and the Holy Spirit are definitely one. Now, just so that we're on one accord in this message, I just want to say this. The Word never came into being or just suddenly became the Word. Yahuwah, in his infinite and eternal state, has always been the Word. Now, we can confirm this by going all the way back to the beginning of time before the world was created, because he created the world. Now, I've already read this in one of my previous videos titled, "Did Yahushua exist before he came in the flesh?" The verses that you see here on the screen are from the book of Adam and Eve, and I think that they would be appropriate to read again in this video. So let's go ahead and read it. Elohim said to Adam, "I have ordained days and years on this earth, and you and your descendants shall live and walk in them until the days and years are fulfilled." Now remember, as we read this, we need to think of Elohim in a plural form. Okay, it says, "Then I shall send the word that created you, and against which you have transgressed the word that made you come out of the garden, and that raised you when you were fallen. Yes, this is the word that will again save you when the 5.5 days are fulfilled." And in my previous video titled, "Did Yeshua exist before he came in the flesh?" we know that these weren't literally 24-hour day periods. This was 5,500 years. But we're not going to talk about the 5.5 days. If you want to know about it, it's in my video titled, "Did Yeshua exist before he became flesh?" Now, if you look at where it says, "Then I shall send the word that created you," this is yet another piece of the puzzle that supports the fact that yes, Yahushua existed prior to walking the earth. Now, the reason that this is so important to understand is because we're talking about Yahuwah and his infinite existence as 3 in 1. Yahuwah the Father, Yahushua, or Yah's salvation, who is the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in which also is the Word of Yahuwah. These 3 are one, and who we call Elohim. The Hebrew word that is plural for the English word God when referring to the God of Israel. Yahuwah is the eternal Word, who is Elohim, who became a human being. Therefore, Yahuwah is one. He's one God, the God of Israel. This concludes my video. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you and your family safe in this dark hour. Keep Yahuwah's laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. And note, we are living in the last days. But remember, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13, he that endures unto the end, the same shall be saved. And until my next video, Shalom.